Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On the behalf of 21 Tour and Travel, I officially welcome you to the Palace of Versailles. Please let me introduce myself. My name is Sarah, and I will be your tour guide until the afternoon. So, are you ready to start the tour?
Yes, I cannot wait to start.
That's the spirit. But before we start, I remind you to look after your belongings and also put on some sunscreen. Also, please pay attention to your belongings and this flag that I've got right here so you won't get lost. You can also call me at 33700 if you get lost. For those of you who haven't saved my number.
Get it?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's begin our tour.
I promise you are going to enjoy your time here in the Palace of Versailles. The Palace of Versailles is one of the most famous World Heritage monuments where you can enjoy beautiful art, detailed architecture, and learn history. The history of the Palace of Versailles starts at the 17th century. It was first a hunting lodge, then a seat of power, and finally, from the 19th century onwards, a museum. Composed of the palace, the garden, the park, the Trianon estate, and several buildings in town. Today, the estate of Versailles spreads over more than 800 hectares. This place is definitely worth to visit. Going to French would not be complete without seeing the Palace of Versailles with your own eyes. From Paris, you can take a car or train for 1 hour.
Interesting. When did the construction start? Because I heard this place is very old.
You are right. The first major construction was started in 1661 and took almost 20 years to complete.
Wow, that's quick long. So, what is the most famous construction in the Palace of Versailles?
The Hall of Mirrors is one of the most famous in all of Versailles and easily the most beautiful. This breathtaking hall has not only 357 mirrors, but also an impressive history.
Oh, really? What is the impressive history in the Hall of Mirror?
Good question. The Hall of Mirrors witnessed the signing of Treaty of Versailles. Signed on 28 June 1919, it ended the war between Germany and Allied powers and signaled the end of the World War I.
Is there any controversy behind Hall of Mirror construction?
Yes, there are. During the construction of the Hall of Mirrors, King Louis XIV stuck to his condition. He said every materials used should be made in French. This request posed a problem for Jules Hardouin Mansart, the architect of the Hall of Mirrors. His design from the House of Mirror need many mirrors, and back then, Venice had a monopoly on mirrors. As a workaround, the French managed to convince a few Venetian artisans to defect to French. These artists built what we know today as the Hall of Mirrors. To keep the art of mirrors making a secret, the Venetian government ordered the artisans' assassination who had helped the French. There is no document proof that this assassination were a success. But there is no proof they didn't success either. Therefore, sometimes the Hall of Mirrors is also referred to as the Hall of Bloody Mirrors.
Wow, I got goosebumps while listening to it. By the way, thank you for answering our question.
You're welcome.
So, how about it, ladies and gentlemen? The Hall of Mirrors is certainly astonishing, isn't it? It is also hosting an event called Versailles Electro on May 22nd, which is 4 days from now. It is an electronic music event with renowned French DJs such as BCP. You can expect an epic electronic party in this Hall of Mirrors. Young and fun people like yourselves won't want to miss it. The tickets start from €30.
That's actually very affordable. We will consider coming.
Glad to know that you are interested. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Would you look at that? We've arrived at the Garden of Versailles. Let's tour the area for a while.
Wow, It's so beautiful and very wide.
Yep, this garden actually covers more than 30,000 acres and is home to 400 sculptures and 1,400 fountains. Its grandeur was the very symbol of King Louis XIV's absolute power, even over nature. In fact, the whole Palace of Versailles was meant to be the symbol of ultimate power and money that Louis XIV had.
That is a lot. I don't think other countries in the world would build something like this anymore, especially when most countries have let go of monarchy.
I think so too. So the Palace of Versailles is the only one of its kind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, since it is 1 hour before lunchtime, may I suggest you a restaurant? After all, it is against the social custom to be eating food on the go here. And before you ask, don't worry, the restaurant will not only serve cake.
Sir, what do you recommend?
I recommend La Veranda by Gordon Ramsay. Yes, the world-class chef. The restaurant itself has a nice, simplistic yet modern architecture, just the suitable place for lunch. And don't worry about the food. You can find multiple original menus of French cuisine created by Gordon himself.
Nice! I watch a lot of his stuff. So I cannot wait to try his menus. But before that, I think we are going to another location. What do you suggest?
Hmm, I'm glad you asked. Another iconic place in Versailles is the Queen's Hamlet, which was Queen Marie Antoinette's very own settlement. The hamlet is rustic, so it is different from the other buildings here. It is also near to La Veranda, so you can have lunch after going to the Queen's Hamlet.
That sounds good. How are feelings, ladies and gentlemen? Are you tired? That bag your looks a little heavy. May I over to carry your bag for a little while?
Sure, my arm is quite tired. We broke some important stuff, like our passport and other documents.
Oh dear, no wonder it's very heavy. If I may advise you, you don't have to bring all your document or money whatever you go. In fact, for the sake of safety, it's the best to lift into the hotel concierge. The hotel in Paris are very trustworthy, but if you are still not sure, you can just bring the money but carry with you only the photocopy of the travel document when exploring French.
Oh, I see. I never knew that. Thank you for telling us.
So, which is the direction from the garden to the Queen's Hamlet?
To get to Queen's Hamlet, from here you just walk straight for around 200 meters. Then you will come upon the basin the fallen. From there, you go around the basin and take a right. After this, just walk straight again for another 200 meter. After that, you will come across a junction, as well as the Grand Trainen, which will a smaller place that is still apart for sales. The building has a pillar hallway in the front of it, along with a round fountain in at the front. You will sure notice it at the junction. You will take a right and go for another straight walk until you arrive at the Queen Hamlet. Are there any questions, ladies and gentlemen?
No, we got it. Thank you.
That is good to hear. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is all from me. You can explore the Queen Hamlet on your own. On behalf of 21 Tour and Travel, we thank you for trusting your service. We look forward to your future trip to Paris once again. Please take care of your belongings. I hope you have wonderful time here. Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.